Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the support as always. On today's episode, we are going to talk about Pixel Heroes. This is a video game. I don't know if you knew that. It's a video game. And as such, there you can do things like throw caution to the wind. you can drive your tank wherever you want. You can try to win a game, for example. That kind of stuff. You don't actually have to let other people try to win the game or hide in a bush, or you don't have to. It's a pixel tank game, and nothing happens if you lose. I don't know if you know this. Nothing happens if you lose. Now you might get some less experience. You might have worse stats. You might get less credits. You might even get grumpy. But really, other than that, which is all internal to you, nothing happens. So we're on this battle, Erlenberg, and it is an assault, which means you have to take the enemy cap. We're on the attacking side. So, if you're the 4502, the Super Hellcat, the Tiger II, who may be actually worrying about the M49, there's a Su-130 over there, but the enemy team is not in bad shape. We're winning 6-4, but they got a lot of TDs. They're in fairly strong positions back here. It is hard to get to this cap. Let's just go ahead and see what's going on. We can see that there's a 274E there. I bounce off of him. I'm in my tier 7, so I'm 2 tiers down. I'm bottom tier heavy. I do like the Tiger 1. It can handle most of these things. And all of a sudden we get this 263 raging in, which is a very strong tank, especially against the things it's facing. We're going to do a pretty good job of dealing with him. I bounce off him. He wants to kill the HTC. He takes a huge thump. I sneak one in here. There we go. He's taking on the TS5. He's trying to get out of there thinking, how did I come in there with all those hit points and now I only have 74? This is a bummer. Go ahead and track him. Looks at TS5 and down he goes. All right, good. So that evens things up a little bit. It's 8-6. And I'm looking at this. We were discussing this. I don't know if I was on stream or talking to Pilgrim or what it was. Might have been on stream. So some of you may have seen this real time. We're just trying to find where are these guys back in the back of the map, right? They're all along the A and B row somewhere, right? We know the 279E and the other two are over there on the west side. There's probably some guys on the east side. They're a problem. Might even be some up on the hill up there. If we're going to win, though, we have 5 minutes to get to the red cap thing or kill all these guys, which means we kind of need to see them. We kind of need to be able to see them. We don't have a lot of great tanks for that. The T-69 sort of traps. So somebody's got to do something. That's kind of what I'm getting at on this video. When you get to a situation like this in the game, and you're getting salty that your team's not doing anything, or you don't like how it's gone, or whatever, sometimes just try something. Look at the situation and go, who has to do something? Usually the answer is you. Now, if I was in the Crusader SP or the 53, 55, then more than likely I don't need to go do what I'm about to do. But in this situation, you don't really have a scout. There's no mediums nearby. The guys are trapped over at the castle because there are some guys in bushes there. If they move into the open, they get shredded. But I do know that there's some dudes we can't see. The CS-53 is probably the most concerning, as well as I want to say that is it the TS5 that's seen. There's maybe the Super Hellcat and some others. So I go, all right, somebody has to do something. I have all my hit points. I think I'm carrying hardening because I've got the one weird amount of 18 or 19, 20. And I just said to myself, somebody has to do something. So let's just take this approach. We'll come right out of the bushes, dive down into the river, get low. We're going to come up here. We're going to work our way into this back area up in the northeast and see if we can't start getting some lights. Yes, I could drive in here and get shredded by bushed up guys, but I'm going to do it as smart as possible. Come around that building to guard myself from those. I'm counting 1001, 1002, 1003. Nobody's seen me. This makes me believe that there's really nobody up in these bushes, at least at the moment, and there's probably nobody over here. Just look at the spotting rings, okay? So instead of coming around, now I didn't want to go across this way because these dudes would see me. So I came off these bushes down in here. Now I'm using this building to block anyone behind me, and I'm trying to find out if there's anybody in front of me. It's possible there's nobody here, and they're all over on the west side. I don't think so, though. At least when I was doing this, I didn't think so. There had to be somebody up in this corner. Now I know there's an opening right there. So I've got these bushes and trees, which will cover me from the dudes over on the west side. I know there's a flat spot here. I want to come through this and start looking around and see if I can find somebody. I was sort of concerned there was maybe someone back there, and I thought, all right, well, maybe up by the building. Well, there's the Sioux. Come around this way. I get a little enamored of that, and this was a mistake coming around. And to be honest, when I came out onto the open here, I figured there was nobody up in this corner. I said, surely somebody's watching that enough. But you know what? The TS5 is right there, and that is a bummer because he's going to hurt. I said, oh, geez, that hurt. Go ahead and try to get a shot on him. And now run for the cover, right? I want to get up around this. Oh, geez. All right, that didn't work out very well. I just ate 2 shots. And the TS5 reloads pretty well. I get hit by their arty, but now the TS5 is getting thumped by guys. All those dudes hiding out, a T95, a TS5 of our own, all that good stuff, and now he's gone. And so, by simply doing something, right, I'm able to get guys lit and get them out of the game. And all of a sudden now, we've gone from a pretty big disadvantage to a pretty good advantage. And I've only done 411 damage, 1,482. Right? It's not like I'm tearing this game up. But that little move was a huge difference maker in the win right there. I think had I sat there much longer, this team would have done nothing but sat there the whole time. And the time was running out. We're at 2 minutes and 51 seconds. Now I'm sitting on the cap, causing cap pressure. I'm not a huge fan of sitting on caps, but this is the right time to do it. Try to force these guys to come out. Get a nice shot on the 279E. Now the T95, really the T95 should have just walked into those guys. I don't really know why he didn't just take the opportunity to charge at them. He probably would have eventually lit him once he got close enough, and it looks like he finally decided to do so. There he goes. He's finally moving. And honestly, he was probably the best tank to do what I just did anyway, but you know what? A lot of times your teammates are just going to sit there, man. It's just the way it is in this game. People don't have a lot of imagination. They just don't want to do it. They don't want to get their paint scratched, whatever the case may be. They may be in a tank that they feel like is not the right one to do it, all that good stuff. And we end up with a win. From what looked like a pretty tough situation, one person made a difference, decided to try something. Tried to be a pixel hero. Yeah, because it's just a game, and if you lose, nothing really happens. Also, if you follow me at all, talking about experience and learning how to play the game, until you try stuff, you're never going to learn what works. Right? And I took my knowledge of the game, I made my best plan for the bad situation I had, and I tried it. I executed it. I used some cover. I used some building. I thought about where they might be. I tried to minimize my exposure as much as possible. And it's very true. I could have driven out there and got slaughtered if there were 3 TDs sitting up there, but I wasn't. Right? And at the end of the day, if it failed, who cares? As it was, it got me some more spotting. It got me a win. It got me a little bit more damage. And we were able to push through with the team. So think about that. Next time you're in a situation like that in this game, looks like, nobody's doing anything. You're not really sure what to do. Make a plan. Execute the plan to the best of your capability and see what the heck happens. And then use that information for future plans. There you go. Be a pixel hero. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I do appreciate it. We will see ya.